Happy Monday, everybody, from Chicago, Illinois, the third largest city in the United States of America. It's The Drive with Mario Smith. I'm Mario Smith. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Monday afternoon. It is a beautiful day in Chicago, but it is some severe weather coming to certain parts of the United States. And today we're enjoying it, but I can see out, if I look out my window, which would be disrespectful to do now, I can see that it's going to be a little messy later on. A little later on. What a weekend. Lots happened this weekend. We'll touch on some of it. Some of it we won't, because we won't. Uh, so we're a little late, but we're here. And let's say hello to my friend Gliss, who is in Portland, Oregon. Mr. Gliss, good afternoon, sir.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, man. Hey, buddy. Hey, how you doing?
How was your weekend?
You know, it was very interesting. I actually had to work a job this weekend, so that was woohoo, yay, so much fun. And then last night we honored a gentleman here who has made a lot of people very rich in the music world. His name's George Daniels, and that was exciting. I have my door open. Should I close my door?
Yeah.
Or are we good? Can you hear me? Does it sound like a train is riding past me?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's loud
yeah.
as hell.
I can hear it a little bit, but it's
All right, as long as
it's not distracting.
if it's not bothering you, it ain't bothering me. And then what else did I do this weekend? My dear friend moved to Arizona, so I will be coming out west for some things. I'm pretty sure of that. And that's it, man. It was a pretty nondescript weekend. Watched way more basketball than I normally watch, but it was a fun weekend overall. The problem is weekends are too short. 2 days is not enough to do anything. So
No, I know.
I tried. What about you? What was your weekend like?
You just hit it on the head. I mean, it's too short. It didn't feel like a weekend. It was very busy. We in particular for my wife, she got up early to take the two little ones to Jack's first chess tournament on Saturday.
Okay.
And so she kind of had to do that all day. And then yesterday we went out to my brother and sister-in-law's, hung out
nice.
there, out by the coast. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Did you
it's
have?
not on the beach. It's actually like a farm community. It's a place called Tillamook. It's about
Okay, yeah.
yeah. It's where they make all the cheese out here.
I was gonna say Tillamook cheese.
big
We have it here
Tillamook
in
cheese
Chicago.
factory.
Yeah. All right. I know where to get some wholesale now.
Good
Thanks.
ice cream too. Yeah.
You just ratted on your brother. Good job. He now owes me some Tillamook. That sounds like fun, man. The weather here has taken a turn. It's like 70 degrees today.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's nice. Have not been outside yet.
Yeah.
I started riding my bike again yesterday.
Sounds like the time to do it.
Yeah, but it wasn't very successful.
Why is that?
Well, I say that to say I know how to ride a bike. I did that
Yeah.
part right. But it's like I haven't been on a bike in so long. I forgot how to do my city driving. There's a different way to ride a bicycle in the city as opposed to like on a path or a designated area. So
That's
it's
very true. Yeah.
it's a lot of like whoa, that man just pulled out of that parking space. You're
Yeah.
turning. Use a turn signal. It's like being in a car with nothing around you, like
Yeah.
just two wheels. And
Do they have bike lanes there?
Yeah, they do, but I don't know if they're going to keep them the way they are now. I read somewhere that they're going to make more bike lanes. I hope they reconfigure how that works. There's really no other way for it to work if you're putting an extra lane in an already small street. You're not going to make the streets in Chicago bigger, at least not the ones around here. But people don't observe the bike lane. When I drive a car, I'm like, whatever, bike lane. As long as there's no bicyclists in it, I'm riding all through it.
You kind of have to be here because people this is like a big biking community, and they have like full on green bike lanes like everywhere downtown. So you got to pay attention, or else you're gonna hit somebody.
I had actually, what's funny, man? I had a really good friend that got hit by a bike a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago now, and this dude was like messenger level bicyclist,
Yeah.
and some guy was drunk and got him, clipped him.
Ugh.
So yeah, I'm as much as I love being on my bike, I really do. Here's my routine, but so here's how it goes. If I do this right, I wake up in the morning, I hop on my bike, and I ride 3 miles, maybe 3 miles,
Yeah.
maybe. Come back home, get it together. My day is different. It was early enough in the morning where there wasn't a lot of traffic. I come back, I'm good. I haven't done that yet. I rode for 10 minutes total twice, and I was exhausted and angry. So I wasn't the best ride for me. But I love bicycles.
It'll get better. Get better with time.
Here's the bike.
There it is. Yeah.
At least the helmet you can see. Ouch. At least you can see the helmet. I just shook the whole thing. Oh. There you go. Better. All right. And then that was kind of it, man. The weekend was nondescript. I mean, the NCAA tournament
Sounds like
was
you had
fun.
enough to keep you busy.
Yeah, I was busy for sure.
Yeah.
And happy spring. It's the first day of spring.
Yeah.
And it'll be wet tomorrow. If there's a big storm, we may not be able to. I don't think I have it in our run, but I can tell you, if you live in the Southwest United States, if you're like between, or let's just say between Texas and Florida, and as high up as maybe whatever that linear is for Oklahoma, it's about to come down on your head. Like tornado season has erupted in a gigantic way. So be careful. I'll try to pull up. You know who we got to get on the show was Ryan Hall. Excellent meteorologist, Ryan Hall. He's got a big presence on Twitter and TikTok and Facebook and all that. Yeah, Ryan Hall's the man. And he's super good at doing all this stuff. He's probably on the air now. He does a marathon whenever there's severe weather, like 12 hours straight.
Oh, yeah.
I love this job, but 12 hours? 12 hours of me listening to me talk? I get tired of me listening to me talk after 2, let alone 12. It's a lot of work. What say we go lines? Not much is happening. War is breaking out. Supreme Court justice might be given an opportunity to actually do her job. Maybe another one was in the hospital over the weekend. Yeah, I don't know. But let's start off with the headlines here on the drive. President Joe Biden will be visiting Poland on his European trip this week. Urgent talks with NATO and European allies as Russian forces concentrate their fire upon cities and travelers in a nearly month-old invasion of Ukraine. Biden will first travel then to Poland to meet with leaders there, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said in a statement last night. Poland is an ally in the Ukraine crisis. It's hosting thousands of American troops and is taking in more people fleeing the war in Ukraine, more than 2 million than any other nation in the midst of the largest European refugee crisis in decades. And finally, in our headlines, the first day of the Senate hearings for Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson offered a sharp contrast between the two parties. Democrats focused on the nominee, and Republicans vented about past judicial rights and railed against dark money. That sounds weird. Dark. The Judiciary Committee proceedings Monday included opening statements from senators, and it's poised to end with introductory remarks from Jackson, who's 51, who is currently a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. Questioning begins tomorrow, and those are the headlines. Thanks so much for watching us. We really appreciate you here on .tv and checking out all of our programming that begins for you on the East Coast. It begins at any time because it's available all the time. But on the East Coast, it begins at 6 a.m. with Haley and Allison. The amazing Liv Harrison at 8 a.m. Eastern. I think she is a very special person. Super dope show. And then at 10, it's our buddies Jam and Renee. At noon, it's Sir Anthony Davis. And then my pal, your pal, our pal, your pal Hal at 2, along with the wonderful Travis at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then you give me a gliss on the drive. And while you're here on Backchannel.tv, please feel free to leave a word about our show in the review section. And I mean Megan in New Jersey, Elizabeth and May, Tay here in Illinois, Ruth in Iowa, Emily in Mississippi, Milo, dog or person, today I'm betting people in Oregon, Indigo Links in Nevada, Karimas in London. I did move my I didn't move my computer. I just shook it. Vito is here. He says no. Then he says yes. Then he says yes again. Ruth is also here as well. And it's Ruth's first time on the stream. Thank you so much, Ruth in Iowa, for being on the show. When we come back, we'll delve into the news a little bit deeper on the drive here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported device. We will be right back. To the drive with Mario Smith. I'm him. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. Hey, Nicholas in North Carolina, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome. All of you, welcome. Glad you're here. My man Gliss is in Portland. We're just chilling. This is it's sitting at a bar without a bar and no alcohol. That's what this show is for at least the first 30 minutes, and then it goes into something else, and then it takes another turn, and it goes this way. We do all kinds of things, and we're glad that you're here to spend some time with us. So you drove to the coast, Mr. Gliss?
So the Oregon coast is probably about to get to the beach. It's about an hour, kind of depending on where you're going. But yeah, there's like a mountain pass that we have to go over, and it's about an hour and 15-minute drive out to Tillamook.
Did that gas cost you $6,525,232.12?
Something like that. Yeah, we actually had to get gas right before we left, and I didn't want to spend that much, so I only put like $30 in, and now I have to get gas again.
Ouch.
So
this is what we were talking about last week, I guess. You know, the days run together. I believe it was last week we were talking about how Donald Trump kind of, people don't want to hear this, but it's the truth, kind of initiated this whole gas price increase when he was president, as he was on his way out. In April of 2020, he signed a deal with OPEC Plus to reduce the gas production, thus rising the prices of the gas that was available and keeping a cap on available gas, if you follow. So that agreement is about to end. And subsequently, Saudi Arabia is like, it ain't our fault the price is high, player. Slow down. In fact, they went as far as to make a whole ass statement about it today. They said that they won't bear any responsibility for a shortage in global oil supplies after a fierce barrage of attacks by Yemen's Houthi rebels affected production in the kingdom. The number one supplier of oil for the U.S., though, is the U.S. It's no longer Saudi Arabia. Oil tricks. These are very subtle tricks. Now, Saudi Arabia is the man when it comes to oil. They're like Big Worm on Friday in the ice cream truck, if you will. They are peddling oil from an ice cream truck, essentially, and you're gonna buy the oil or you won't. And if you buy it, you're gonna have to pay me. Big one. But what's happening now? Saudi Arabia is like, slow down. Hey, this isn't our doing. Now they're not gonna turn their back on their boy Trump, so they're not gonna say it's Donald Trump's doing. But essentially, that OPEC Plus deal signed in April of 2020 that expires next month is your man's doing. Not your man, Gliss. I know you don't care for him. I mean, the theoretical your man. So when you look at your gas prices, like my man's got to go, Gliss has to buy gas now, and that's probably going to be $50. It's a lot for gas. And you take into account the war, and you take into account Yemen is apparently snapping out on the Saudis, and yeah. So if you're gonna, you should follow my ride a bike philosophy. Just ride a doggone bike. Bikes are fun for everyone. Do I need to buy Jack and the rest of the kids new bikes? Like get them like little bike cars?
No, they got they're all up to date on bikes. We live in a cul-de-sac, so they do a lot of riding around the cul-de-sac here. So yeah,
there's well, I was about to say something that would have ended our show. Let me not say that. Never mind. But here in Chicago last week, and it's going to happen. It happened over the weekend, and it'll happen again on Thursday. A gentleman by the name of Willie Wilson, who is a philanthropist and super wealthy man. And he's also ran for every available office in the state of Illinois, except for like sergeant at arms or somebody's student council. He gave away $200,000 worth of gas one morning, Thursday morning, as a matter of fact. And it caused a major traffic jam, and people were really upset. But it just showed the disparity of the need. People need gasoline, and they can't afford it because it's too high. So we live in a weird time, man. I feel for you, bro, because you got a family. You got a whole family that needs to get taken to different places. Wife's got to go to work. Kids got to go to school. You got to take that drive all the way to your garage to do the show. You know what I mean?
I have 4 stops every morning because they all go to different. Because we have daycare, elementary, middle school, and high school, all covered. So.
I used to do it not with 4 children. I used to have to ride children around though, and I mean, that's like, yo, I got to do this every day for you. Can't you drive yet? Aren't you old enough to get your own car? It's crazy. So in any event, just to double back, the Yemens are attacking the oil facilities in Saudi. So they're essentially saying, we got our own problems. Please don't worry about what we're doing. And we're not causing your price of oil to go up. But the minute anybody that they want to believe what I'm telling you, that's a documented fact. It was in Forbes. It's all over the place. They didn't even mention it when it happened. Donald Trump did this. Hey, man, I think we got some new crazy names, or at least one. Crazy Rattlesnake in New York is with us. Hey, Crazy Rattlesnake. Nicholas is here. Megan has joined it. And, yeah, Crazy Rattlesnake. That's interesting. I don't know what that means. I suppose if I did a little investigating, I'd find out. But Crazy Rattlesnake on the show today. I did not realize this until well, of course I couldn't have because I was asleep. I woke up this morning to the news of an airline crashing in China. 132 people aboard a 737-800 with 132 people on board crashed on a remote mountain in China, southern China, this morning, setting off forest fires visible from space in the country's worst air disaster in nearly a decade. More than 12 hours after communication was lost with the plane, there was still no word of survivors. The Civil Aviation Administration of China said in a statement that the crash occurred near the city of Wuzhou in the Zhejiang region. I am totally guessing on these names. If you are of Chinese descent, don't look at me that way. I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. The flight was traveling from Kunming in the southwestern province of Yunnan to the industrial center of Guangzhou along the east coast, it added. China Eastern Flight 5735 had been traveling 455 knots. That's like 523 miles per hour at around 30,000 feet when it entered a steep dive around 2:20 p.m. local time, according to data from the flight tracking website flight24.com. The plane stopped transmitting data 96 seconds later. No word on any survivors, which leads me to my poll question because, as I mentioned earlier to Gliss, I'm thinking about traveling to the west coast of our fine country soon. And even though I fly, not all the time, but I do fly a bit, I get a little nervous on flights. So my question for everybody in the room is, how do you handle flights? How do you handle is what's the for me the hardest part I think is the taking off. It just drives me crazy. I can't. I get real. Like, do you remember the episode of The Simpsons when Marge Simpson was demanding that they let her off the plane and she was running back and forth,
Yeah.
screaming, "Let me off!" Like, that's me without all that. Inside, I'm like, I can't get me off this plane. So that's the question. If you're on backchannel.tv, please leave an answer to that question along with a review. If you're on YouTube, please leave an answer in the live chat. You can also tell your Amazon supported device to kick it off in the chat, please, on the drive. So what about you, man? What's the hardest part of flying for you? And you're a world flyer. You fly all over the universe. You might as well be an astronaut, Liz.
I like flying less and less as I've gotten older. I'm the same way. I get a little nervous, especially around takeoff. And then there's what part I really don't like is this happened when I was flying recently, because I made connections, so I was getting on several different planes after layovers and stuff. But there's this moment where once you're up high enough and the jets are going and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden they like do something where they let off the gas and and it gets quiet. That moment always makes my heart beat a little bit, because it's like, what, did something break?
Right. Why did everything? Why did
it get quiet all of a sudden?
Why is it so doggone quiet on this plane? And my friend, as I'm thinking about going to Arizona, and she lives 3 hours and 59 minutes away from here. So I'm like, I gotta be up there for 3 hours.
I know. Yeah, the long flights I don't deal well with.
I'd rather it be super fast and emotionally scarring than all deliberate and slow. You know what I'm saying? I remember to say, all right, passengers, we're taking off. We're here. Thank you. That's what I want.
I'm with you. I want to be in the air like the least amount of time as possible. So I in particular do not like flying across the country.
Half hour, I'm good. You get a half hour out of me. And then
we got like, I think Seattle is like a 45-minute flight. California, most areas of California, Vegas, they're all around 2 hours. I'm okay with that. In fact, that's when we're going to be going on a family. As a family, we're actually going to be doing a cruise. And one thing I'm excited about that is I don't have to fly across the country, because we're actually just leaving from Seattle. So
you and your wife adopt me. Can you guys deal with a 54-year-old man living in your house?
Yeah,
because I want to go on cruises.
Yeah,
we couldn't do that, bro. We couldn't live together, man.
Full
we need a doctor presence.
A doctor presence.
Ooh, yeah, no, man, that wouldn't work. You see, this is an inside joke. Just if you know Gliss, you know me, you watch the show. We need a doctor. We need an ambulance parked, running all the time. Just to make sure we'd be okay. Wouldn't put that burden on your wife. I'm single. Nobody cares.
Yeah. We'll have to. Maybe at some point we'll have to do a. We've talked about getting a bus and doing like a Madden tour. Maybe there has to be a drive cruise.
That would be cool.
The cruise with Mario Smith.
The cruise. Hey, everybody, we're on a cruise. It'd be a lot of Dylan T. Pickle spaces on this cruise, though. Hey, man, this cruise.
And I'll come out east. Yeah, I'll come out east. I'll bring Dylan with me.
There you go.
And we'll go from Florida and hit up like St. Martin and St. Thomas, go down to the Caribbean.
Man, look, that's going to be a tough call for me too. Boats and stuff. I like land. I'm not good on water. I'm not good in the air. I'm a land person. If I was a superhero, I'd be land man because all my activities would take place on flat lands. I don't like hills. I don't like a lot of things.
Like Flash or something like that.
Yeah, I'd be Flash. I just run.
It's like you can go anywhere super fast, but you don't have to leave the ground.
There you go. See, now, here's how my luck works. Let's say something happens and I do turn into a superhero. I will definitely have power of flight. And I'm, superhero gods, I can't fly today.
Someone want to trade me?
Anybody want to get rid of these powers? Put them in somebody that deserves to fly and see things from way up there. I'm up on the 8th floor in my building, and I panic. Like every time I go on my balcony, I'm like, yo, is this sturdy? Can I jump up and down on this? Do I want to do this? What kind of dogs do you have, man? Because I saw this and I was quite interested in it. What the most popular dog breed is. But what kind of dog you got?
So we have two. I wouldn't call them real dogs. They're small and yeah.
Milo's gonna be so angry at you because he can hear.
No, not Milo. Milo's legit. The other two are just like yappy little dogs. They're like Dachshund, Rat Terrier mix, and they're just obnoxious. Milo is an English Labrador.
Okay, he is a proper dog.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the American Kennel.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just to differentiate because people say English American. So the American Lab is just a little more. They're probably the ones you see more often. They're more slender and athletic built, and the English Labs are a little stockier. They kind of have more of a boxy build to them.
Yeah.
But they're both Labradors. Yeah.
If I got a dog, because there's so many dogs in my building, man, and most of those dogs are like gigantic, full of anger dogs. So that's not true. I think some people in my building watch the show, so I'm not disparaging them. But if I got a dog, I'd have to have a house with a lot of land on it because I want a Jack Russell. Because in my head, Jack Russells are docile and kind when in reality they are not. Or I'd get a.
They're busy.
They're super busy. They're always. That's why you need
a lot of stimulation. Yeah. Kind of like a border collie or something. They need to like go all the time. Like.
Yeah. Well, that's why I had cats because I didn't want to have to deal with a cat. I come in, hey, what's up, Leroy the cat? And Leroy the cat's like, meow, and keep on going about my business. All Leroy the cat wants is to know that bowl is full, or he'll eat you. Right. Otherwise, and I think now that if I get a cat, it's going to be named Leroy the cat, and I'll draw a cartoon.
I like cats.
I love cats.
We have cats. We have 2 cats.
I got chased by a dog when I was little and bit me on my ankle, and I've always been like, I'm good on dogs. But now as I've gotten older,
I mean, I love dogs, but I don't know if you can tell, but I have a scar right here.
Wait,
straight, right down the middle
of your
on my
face.
Yeah, it goes right down here.
Okay.
And I got bit by my own dog, which was a dachshund. Yeah, when I was in high school.
My dog.
She split my lip in two parts.
Oh, dog, you gotta go. You can't.
And I didn't know that. And I didn't even know she bit me. My brothers had friends over. They were small at the time, so there was a lot of noise and chaos going on. I think she just got nervous. I actually went down. I was trying to pick her up to, take her into a bedroom where she wasn't, hiding under a desk, because that's what she was doing.
Right.
And she kind of snapped at me, and I felt like contact, but I didn't feel pain. And then all of a sudden I looked down and like I could feel pressure, like, something pumping in my mouth. And then I looked down and I was covered in blood. I mean, it was like everywhere.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
And I went in there, and it's literally my lip was like hanging off in 2 separate pieces.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then I was like, Mom, I think we need to go to the ER.
You're the
My
calmest
lip
person
is
with a
hanging off
split
my face.
lip in the world. Hey, my lip is hanging off my face. Hey, mom. Hey, how you doing? Look, and don't look at me, but just get me out of here. You gotta go to the hospital right away.
Yeah,
Yeah, was that the
36.
end of the dog? How
No, we
many?
kept the dog. 36 stitches,
Ooh,
and then a
you were
couple
lucky
over
man.
on the corner because she kind of mangled up a little bit, like on the side that had a couple other stitches. But
You look like you were in a hockey fight.
yeah,
That's a lot of
I
stitches.
I kind of like it. It's a good scar. It's fine.
Hey, it's from a beautiful dog that tried to eat you alive, whole.
Yeah, the
One,
dachshund.
a dachshund. One whole swallow. This dog was like, "Screw it, I'm done with you." Well, here are the most popular dog breeds in 2021. Who knows what it'll be this year, right? So number 10 comes in at the dog that almost killed my friend Bliss, the dachshund. And number 9 is a German short-haired pointer. Number 8's a Rottweiler. I'm straight on those. Number 7, a Beagle. I like Beagles. Number 6, a Bulldog. I like Bulldogs.
Bulldogs are cute.
Yeah. Now I can tell that, I'm not feeling too well because I thought it said, for number 5, I thought it said people. It says poodle.
People dog.
People dog. Now I was going to go, hey, okay. I know I don't know much about dogs, but what's a people dog? Poodle's number 5. German Shepherd. Good old reliable Rex. The German
I
Shepherd is
love
number
German
4.
shepherds.
Yeah, I'm not mad at them. German Shepherds are interesting dogs, though. They don't take a lot of mess. They're very,
No. Yeah.
What are you doing here? Who are you? Why do you know her? Why are you in my house? Yeah. I can't tell that story on a back channel, but yeah, dogs are very interesting, especially the German Shepherd. Why do I have so many dumb stories about just dumb things that no one would care about? Who knew this vehicle existed?
That's why we're here.
Oh my god! So I could tell some of it. I was going out with this girl, but this was when we met. I was in high school, and I always used to ask, "Do you have a dog?" And she purposely said no. So I go over to her house. First time I'm going to meet my mom and her dad, and so her dad is like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good, sir. Thank you." And he goes, "Are you like dogs?" And I'm like, I'm a little like scared of dogs. He's like, "Oh." And then you just hear, "Row, row, row." And it was a humongous German Shepherd. And it ran up and it just looked at me and it ran off and it just started running around like I was some kind of demon possessed man. I'm like, yeah, I didn't work. But we ended up hanging out for a little while. German Shepherd. Rex. Yeah. And number 3 is a Golden Retriever. I like those. Those are good looking dogs.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the French Bulldog. Oui. I know people who are French, and no one says that. No one. And the number 1 dog is a Labrador Retriever.
Yeah.
I want a chocolate lab. I do that.
They're good. They're good dogs. They're very friendly. I mean, the only reason we chose an English lab is because the English labs tend to be a little more like goofy. Like I think American labs tend to be can be a little more varied. And I've read some stuff that it has to do with the mistakes in breeding or overbreeding or something like that. But yeah, those English labs, he's big and chunky and heavy, and he is like the friendliest dog on the planet, and that's pretty much most English labs I've ever met. So
see, that's what I mean. I would find a way. I was always, like I said, a cat guy, because cats were just easier for me to maintain, and I wouldn't have to worry about just dogs, because it's the whole, I know I got to walk you. Come on, Fred, let's go out for a walk. And then you walk Fred, and Fred says, "Oh, I don't really want to walk with you. I want to run away."
They call him man's best friend, and there's two sides to that, because that's they are so loving, and they want to be around their people all the time. But on the flip side of that, if you're not the kind of person that wants to have that relationship, that can be I can see how that would be a negative thing, because they really do rely on you all the time. Like if I get up out of a room Milo gets up and
He's like,
he
"What's up?"
follows me. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Right.
where are we going?
That's right.
I'm coming with you.
He is either one or two things for him. This guy's getting ready. My human's going to feed me, or my human's going to allow me to relieve myself and then run around in circles for a while.
Right.
Or nothing. One of those three things are going to happen. Just as a reminder to everybody, this is in the New York Times today. Scarcely 2 months rather, after the Omicron variant drove coronavirus case numbers to frightening heights in the United States, scientists and health officials are bracing for another swell in the pandemic, and with it, the first major test of the country's strategy of living with the virus while limiting its impact. At local, state, and federal levels, the nation has been relaxing restrictions and trying to restore a semblance of normalcy, encouraging Americans to return to pre-pandemic routines. Officials are lifting mask and vaccine mandates and showing no inclination of closing down offices, restaurants, and theaters. But scientists are warning that the United States isn't doing enough to prevent a new surge from endangering vulnerable Americans and potentially upending life again. New pills can treat infections, but federal efforts to buy more of them are in limbo. An aid package in Congress is stalled, even as agencies run out of money for tests and therapeutics. Though less than 1/3 of the population has the booster shots needed for high levels of protection, the daily vaccination rate has fallen to a low. While some Americans may never be persuaded to roll up their sleeves, experts said that health officials could be doing a lot more, for example, to get booster shots to the doorsteps of older people who have proved willing to take the initial doses. Telling you, the pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. It just isn't. Keep your mask with you. If you don't want to wear it, just keep it with you. There's variants. We live in a petri dish. We really do.
Yeah.
And we treat the earth like crap. So I'm not surprised in any way that this is happening. I'm stunned that we got out of the masks and stuff as early as we did, to be honest.
I'm curious, and I asked my brother and sister-in-law this yesterday also, because they live in a pretty rural community, which Portland is a very progressive-minded city when it comes to politics, but a lot of the other parts of the state, the more rural parts, are a little more conservative. And they said that there pretty much no one is wearing masks at this point. How is it in Chicago? Because here, I've actually, it's just everyone's done with it.
They're done with it. It's over.
Yeah.
They were done with it. Well, I can't say that. I can't really say that though. People are still wearing their masks, but outside. We got an indoor thing now where people aren't wearing them inside, and I'm like, well, you're good because you're outside. Yeah. Inside, you should be wearing them, in my opinion. But
and I was just curious because, like, what I've found now that ours has been lifted, it's just been about a week, I think. Just over a week. No, 2 weeks, and I've found that if I'm running into the gas station or something like that, I tend to not wear it. If I know it's a place where there's not going to be very many people in there. But when I go to grocery shopping at the grocery store, I have been wearing it, and I found that in our area that probably about, I would say at least the majority are still wearing them. I would say it's probably 60-40. But I just think it's interesting because it's like you said, inside I still tend to lean towards I'm gonna wear it in most situations where I think there's a lot of people around me.
Inside, it is bacchanalia, fun and games. People just like, yay, we're free. But outside, everybody's like, don't get too close to me. It's like it should be the other way around.
That's interesting.
For some reason, it's not. There's a kind of animal hair is flying past me. I look like I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, I got it.
I think I saw it. Looked like like Tinkerbell or something.
It's weird. I just well, you saw it. Gary T says, ouch. Early cuckoo here in Georgia. Forgetful perch. New coyote. Salty duck. All those people have joined the stream, along with Anthony, who's here as well. Spiritual barracuda, also here. I don't know how I feel about that. Barracudas are not very nice things. That
Maybe
song by
they're
Heart's a
very.
good song, Barracuda.
Heart's a great band.
No, man, don't you get me started about Heart. Nancy Wilson.
Nancy Wilson, yeah, she can hit those notes too.
Yes, she can. Her sister, though, Ann Wilson.
Yeah.
In another life, I was a roadie for all the rock bands in the world. Not wrote a book and got real famous. not. When we come back, we will have the community report. It's Tay-Tay's favorite feature, and we'll do that and do so much more. It's the drive with Mario. So much more. That's a little stretchy. We'll do some things. It's the drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And we'll be back right after these words. Hey, everybody, it's time for the community report here on The Drive with Mario Smith as we get you centered and ready for your evening. Do some stuff to talk about around your dinner table or with your friends on the phone. Go out, the sun's out longer. Gliss, I saw a story this weekend, and I will have it tomorrow. There's a fight amongst scientists and possibly senators about this daylight savings time thing. They tried this apparently in the 1970s for 2 years and it didn't work. People complained about it being dark all the time. So the scientists are like, well, why don't you do the standard time, what we just left, and let that be the all the time? So I don't think this is a bigger slam dunk as we thought. And they don't know when they're going to actually take it up in the House, is what I read.
Oh, come on. Let's put this to an end.
Let's go.
I think I'm fine with standard time. Like, I just want the one time. whatever time the scientists decide is best, I'm cool with that. I'll take their word for it. I just want one time.
To quote the great Trevor Noah, or as the rest of the world calls it, time. I don't care what time it is. This is as long as it's time. Everybody exists on the same stupid time. If it's Greenwich Mean Time, that's fine. I don't care, but just all this back and forth flippy floppy. I don't like it. So yeah, I'm in my weekend of fun. I saw the story, I read it, I was like, okay, save it, and I did it. But I'll have it tomorrow. It's a very interesting article. So they tried this. Oh, what was the reason? I don't find it. I can't remember why they had to do it. No, I do remember, because people were complaining like now. So the government was like, word, let's try it. We'll try it for 2 years. And like after a year, they were like, no, this isn't going to work. We don't like it because it's dark all the time. So get some lights. So what? It's dark. It's dark in the winter.
I mean, I like darkness. So.
Hey, look. I love it. I'm totally with it. I don't care. So what? Hey, let's see if any more weird names are up. Scott is Tay-Tay's had about the community report. All right, let's get to it. I'm sorry, man. Didn't mean to. This is happening in Florida, as where all good stories begin. And the chairman of Disney are having a fight. And that's not good. So months before Disney CEO Bob Chapek tiptoed into a rolling debate in Florida, and before the legislation that opponents would call the bill was even filed, Governor Ron DeSantis delivered a threat to business leaders not in his way. Quote, if you are one of these corporations, if you're a woke CEO, you want to get involved in our legislative business, look, it's a free country. But understand, if you do that, I'm fighting back against you. I'm going to make sure that people understand your business practices and anything I don't like about what you're doing. Governor DeSantis does realize he's talking about Walt Disney, right? And like if Disney says we want to leave Florida, it's a bad move on Trump Jr.'s part. Little Trump, little tiny Ron DeSantis. DeSantis this month made clear he wasn't bluffing. A day after Chapek publicly condemned a controversial bill that would ban classroom instruction about sexual orientation and gender identity before fourth grade, DeSantis ripped Disney to a room of supporters. He called Disney a woke corporation, criticized its business interests in China. Fox obtained and posted a video from the private event, and DeSantis and his staff helped spread it on social media. For DeSantis, already considered a future presidential contender, the episode has only further bolstered his standing within his party, and it has exposed a widening chasm between the current crop of Republican leaders and the corporations that have traditionally curried favor with the GOP. More and more Republicans, once loath to criticize big business, have adopted former President Donald Trump's approach of calling out corporations whose stances on hot-button issues they disagree with. One longtime Republican consultant in Florida who asked not to be named in order to speak freely said, it's a different day for the corporate-loving GOP in Florida. This thing with Disney, this is his modus operandi, the consultant said of DeSantis. There's no playbook anymore for corporations. You just have to take your lumps. So who do you think is going to win that fight between Disney and Ron DeSantis?
Well, I mean, I know that he, has a lot of supporters, but like you said, Disney is one of the biggest companies in the world. We've talked about, I'm a little bit of a Disney fanatic, and, I'm not above criticizing them. I don't think, they need to pay their cast members more at the parks. They do have, there is any big corporation, you're going to find downfalls. But with that said, Disney is a widely popular company throughout the entire world. And yeah, it just seems kind of silly to be, trying to smear Disney. It's just the following that company has between its, theme parks all over the world. It's, its intellectual properties with Marvel and Star Wars and all the original stuff and Pixar. I mean, It's one of the most beloved companies that you could probably find. So it's kind of a weird thing.
If you take the Walt Disney, let's just say Disney says, we're going to take everything here in Florida, we're just going to shut it down, and we're going to move. And let's say we'll move to Texas. We have Disney in Texas. Right? Disney in Oregon, Disney in Nevada. We'll move to Vegas. We'll have Disney in Nevada. If that company decides to divest from Florida, come on, man. That's going to kill that state. That's the number one draw, I'm willing to bet, the number one money-making mechanism in the state of Florida. Like in Illinois, it's corn. Or the city of Chicago, take your pick. It's Disney. And you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Not like, Mario's malt shop. No, we're talking about Disney. And he's just out here wilding like, whatever, I don't care, you're woke. And can I say something? It looks like every time I hear somebody like Ron DeSantis use the word woke, I get afraid for my life. Because I know he doesn't know what that really means.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you shouldn't be saying woke because you're not woke.
And it's become like, I feel like it's become like a throwaway word at this point, because it's like something that people use as like a triggering thing, where it's like, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't. The word doesn't resonate that much anymore, because it's like people just use it in situations like this. Like, you're a woke, you're woke this, you're woke that.
If we're having the conversation, though, Bliss, and I mean, I'm just having it because this is kind of how the origin of it. When the Me Too stuff started, when the black women started the Me Too movement, and the word woke was being used in conjunction with Black Lives Matter and all that, that's when the word took that connotation that it was a bad thing to say,
right,
on the part of people like him.
Yeah.
The people that people were being woke against. So now it's like, oh, don't say woke. I'm not. No. I you know what I am? I'm informed. I think, because they're saying you're woke. It just has a different meaning now. It doesn't mean
exactly.
DeSantis is a weirdo anyway. He's like a little Trump without the money and just kind of gooey and sticky and slimy, and he makes me nervous. And if he runs for president and wins, oh, Canada, our home and native land, I'm out. I'm not doing this again. The drive from Quebec will be back in just a moment. That's what will be happening. Can you see me in Canada with the French people? Oh, man. I'd learn French, Bliss, and be out here wilding with my French talk.
I would like to learn French. French is
cool. We should do it. We should just do it. Let's just do it, man. Come on, dude. Let's do it. We can't open up a bar together because we live on two different sides of the country. Let's just learn French.
All right. I'm with that.
Let's find the Rosetta Stone online. Somebody's got a free copy. They're mad at
nowadays. Yeah, I was gonna say nowadays, you just sign up for an app to learn a new language.
Learn French and then do the show in French. That would be like David Letterman's Reverse show when they did the show in reverse. One of the greatest nights of television ever. We could just do the French show, and this is talking French the whole show.
Or have its own segment.
I played J'aurais toujours femme de toi by the Police on my radio show way back in the day, and somebody called me and was like, yo, you shouldn't play that. I'm like, why not? I'm like, man, that song is full of curse words in French. I didn't know. Because I was wondering, how come I never hear this song on the radio? Because that used to be my thing. I'll play any song, anytime. I'm Mario. I'm wild. And woo, I'm a wacky DJ. And I played it, and somebody straight called me and was like, hey, just letting you know, that song's got all kinds of just bad words in it. I'm like, okay, thanks. Too late. Song over.
Yeah, song already played.
Song done. But I've never played it since because I don't want to get in trouble. But that's funny. That was a wild man.
I don't know. Does the FCC like monitor things that are in different languages? Can they?
I don't know, but I would think their attention is prompted when they don't hear something in English, because then they're like, well, what is that? What are they saying? Is he saying something like some kind of mind control thing? Is he asking to overthrow something? Or what is he doing? Like, even then, I had to be careful what I said because I want them to. They don't regulate this though, do they?
This isn't regulated by that.
Oh, we can do anything?
Well, I don't know. I keep meaning to ask the question.
Did your phone ring too when you said that? When I said, "Can we do anything?" I'm joking.
Yeah, I don't think the FCC regulates this, so I think it's probably more company standards, I would guess, or
Yeah, and I don't want to. My relatives might be watching this. I'm like, when I was doing poetry, we had like a rule about taking pictures. Yeah. We had a general rule. I was in an arts organization. We had a rule about taking pictures, that we wouldn't take pictures with alcohol in our hand, because we didn't want people to be like looking back at the 90s like, man, them dudes put it down and then they drank a lot of stuff. Because almost every party we were at, you got something. And so we would just take the pictures like, you see one fully functioning arm, and then it's just like, what's wrong with your arm? Nothing. It's hiding something. So I'm very careful in particular about when my voice goes over a microphone. I don't want to totally embarrass myself. However, if they ever said we could cut loose one day, oh my God, it would be wild.
We've talked about this off the air. I cuss often.
Oh man, it's bad.
And I think I told you we established when our oldest was very young that they're not bad words, they're adult words. So
Right. But
we
me
may
and you,
use them sometimes from time
when
to
we
time.
have what the hell? When we have conversations on the phone, it's very few English words in them. They're very it's a lot of
Very
you know
true.
what
Well, I can tell you, working in sports radio, you hear cussing all the
all the
time
time.
producing a
Oh
sports
yeah.
show. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
it doesn't go over the air very often.
Right, because you got to
Just
bleep all that
enough.
stuff out.
Yeah.
It's going down. I'm just very like, yo, man, I don't want no trouble. Like to keep things moving nicely. Man, that was some community report, huh? We talked about one thing. Look at that. That community is doing well. It's all right. It's all
In
right.
focus. Yeah.
Hey, this is a new era in television radio.
This is the post 40th show.
Right. So we made a
we're
conscious decision.
evolving. Yeah.
That's right. We're gonna just do things our way moving forward. Our way actually is the only way we've been doing them. Just we're gonna do them different, I guess. When we come back, we'll have the top of the hour. I'll act like I didn't see Gliss for the last hour, and we will reintroduce ourselves to you and reset our show for hour number 2 of The Drive with Mario Smith, live from Chicago, Illinois. It's The Drive on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And we will be right back. Live from Chicago, Illinois, the third largest city in the United States of America. It is hour number 2 of The Drive with Mario Smith. How you doing, everybody? I'm Mario. Thanks for joining us today on The Drive. We appreciate your patronage. You're one of our passengers on it, and we're glad that you're here. By the way, if you want to follow me for more mirth and possibly merriment, you can follow me on Twitter at Mario in Hyde Park, all lowercase. Joining me on the show, it's my man Portland's very own, the number 1 star in Portland, Mr. Jay Gliss. Hello, sir.
That couldn't be true because Dylan T. Pickles still resides.
1A. You're 1A. Yeah. Dylan T. Pickles is still a resident of Portland. My man, Mr. Pickles, the greatest. The greatest. So it's hour 2 of the show. We've been just talking and hanging out and stuff. And that's about it for the most part. I have a raging migraine. You can't tell. I did pretty good the first hour.
Yeah, that's no fun.
Not at all, because my head hurts so bad right now, and I really am having some issues. Not issuey enough for me to like. You know what it is? I could turn it on for 2 hours and act like I don't feel it, and then as soon as this is over with, I'm going to be horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe
I know what that's like. I mean, it's like you kind of like just force yourself, and I think most people can relate to this in whatever job they do, but you kind of you get into a place where you make your brain function to do what you need to do.
Yep. Because this is not the coolest I've ever been in my life. Hey, I just want to turn you on to something real quick. Short Ox, Terrific Cat, and Outwing Hamster have all joined the stream today. Today is Short Ox's first time on it, and Short Ox is in Oregon.
Nice.
Yeah. I
I
believe
wonder
this
what
is
part of Oregon.
Odd Skunk is also here in Minnesota. I believe Dahlia is in Florida. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
I
Did I
find
mention?
most skunks to be odd.
Yes. They are very odd. Tete said that he's going to move to Montreal a month before the 2024 election. Liam is here too. Hey, Liam, how you doing? Yeah, that would be about right because this is going to be wild. Real quick headlines. Don't go anywhere, Gliss. Biden's going to Poland, which is really close to Russia, so that should be a thing. And the Supreme Court nominee, Ketanji Jackson, is being grilled by one half of the Senate, and the other half of the Senate is still mad about the election that they lost. And that's the headlines at the top of that. Yeah, man, I'm like, it's dealing with any kind of weird pain.
Yeah.
And you have something to do. Like, and without going too deep into my medical history, at night I get these, and it's different at night because it's nighttime. I don't have bright light in my face. The sun's not
I was
out.
gonna say, because a headache, like, I actually had a really bad headache the other day, and I was in the living room watching the kids, and I put something over my face because it's just like the darkness was making it feel better. So it's
much better.
Yeah, so it's a little different at night when you can just turn the lights down and lay down. But yeah, when you're here, you have to have, as you said, you have to have good lighting, and you have to have it bright, and
I spend hours researching and putting all these stories together. It's a hard job. I'm up at the crack of dawn with a cup of coffee in my hand. I'm not at the girl. No, I'm not. I was sleeping. Well, that's not true. I get up every morning before the sun comes up. But I at a computer screen all the time. Screen, phone, TV. That's why I got these, so that I don't have headaches. But yet I have one today, and I know why. The change in the weather, and I was really staring down something on my phone that I was reading for today. So that I didn't even read.
Anything in your head is the worst too. Like like tooth pain, headaches, anything up here is the worst to deal with because you can't get away from it.
No matter what you do, it is terrible. Speaking of headaches and stuff you can't get away from, we should take a quick break to talk about the end of an era on television. Kanye not being able to perform at the Grammys, which I think is some what. And a really great show that is getting its due, finally. It's the Entertainment Report. Have no fear, the cameras here. Entertainment news and other things. Coming up next on The Drive with Mario Smith. We'll be back in just a moment. By the way, I neglected to mention, please leave us a review at backchannel.tv about the show. Please make sure you do that. Not just this one, for all of our shows. Please don't forget, leave a review. Tell us what you think. We really want to know. So, after 30 years of the lie detector determined that was a lie, and you are not the father, and you are the father, Maury is finally quitting. That should have happened years ago, but who's keeping count now? Maury is ending 30 years of whatever it is he did on that show. Well, what he did was he talked about teen pregnancies, phobias, sexual infidelities, or revealing who is or who is not the father. The great stage run when they run off the platform and run to the back and collapse in the couch. You're going to miss all that. Here's the thing, you're not going to miss it at all because NBC Universal is going to keep showing that bad boy forever. They got 30 years of shows to show that thing until we're all gone. An NBC Universal executive told NPR that it's canceling Maury at the end of the 2021-22 season when Povich plans to retire. The media company didn't immediately respond to NPR's request for comment. Povich himself told Deadline, that's the NPR part of this, that he had been ready to retire 6 years ago, but NBC Universal asked him to continue. Quote, I'm so proud of my relationship. I should do it in Maury's voice, shouldn't I? I'm so proud of my relationship with NBC Universal and all those who worked on the Maury show. That was terrible. But as I occasionally tell my guests on Maury, enough already, he said. But it's not entirely the end for fans. Reruns will live on in syndication. So that's no Ellen DeGeneres. Did anybody watch that new Jerry Springer show? Because that's going to no more Wendy Williams and no more Maury. That's the end of an era.
I mean, he's one of the like OG like throwbacks from the 90s when it was like the daytime talk shows with Sally Jesse Raphael and Ricky Lake and
he came on in 98. Oprah was still on when he came on.
Yeah.
He used to have a show before this one called A Current Affair, which was wild to say the least, which kind of started the news magazine TMZ kind of shows.
Yeah.
And he was on A Current Affair from here it is here from 86 until 90. The Nick Cannon show is going to be gone as well. I didn't watch any of those things, so I missed all of that. Oh well, sorry I missed you, Maury. Well, not Maury, because Maury, I'm telling you, they're going to show Maury reruns for another 30 years at least. Can you imagine? This is never going away.
I mean, the whole "you're not the father." I mean, that's like a pop culture thing. I mean, that stands the test of time.
It's like say it all the
who
time.
Doesn't know that? Yeah, who doesn't know? Who hasn't seen those videos of
we get some live action,
the guy celebrating, and I can hear that.
I'm trying to see.
You got to get your mobile mic and turn into man
run
on
outside.
The street.
Hey everybody, I'm
reporting live.
Live from the scene of a fire. So what's crazy is that there's I'm just because this woman needs some attention in the worst way. That's moving out of this building I live in, and she threatened to burn the building down. I'm hoping that that's not what that. It was late, and I was going to hit you like, yo, look, might be at the promontory or another location because I just found out some news. So if I'm not at home, don't panic. Something happened, but apparently fine because we're still here. But she has made this threat twice, and the building had cops in it when I left last night, and it was very weird. Speaking of very not weird, but just I don't know if I'm down for this or not. But there's a new Broadway musical about Michael Jackson called MJ, and it's going to hit 17 major cities over 2 years. Starting in 2023, it's going to kick off here in Chicago at the James M. Nederlander Theater on July 15th next year. And I guess MJ is already playing on Broadway. Quote, we are thrilled by the Broadway response to MJ and that we are already deep in preparations to bring this exhilarating show to Chicago and across the United States. Producer Leah Volek said in a statement. Chicago is a premier theater and music destination, and we are excited to be able to begin this journey in one of the Nederlander organization's most beautiful venues. Additional tour engagements and complete cast will be announced at a later date. The tour will also include a previously revealed 2-week engagement at the Blumenthal in Charlotte, North Carolina from September 26th to October 8th. The musical has most of Jackson and the Jackson Five's big hits, including ABC, Black or White, Blame It on the Boogie, Bad, Billie Jean, Off the Wall, Thriller, and I'll Be There. That was 2 Jackson 5 songs out of all of those songs. And because Blame It on the Boogie is a Jackson song. Whatever. The framing technique for the bio is a fictional TV film crew that has gotten access to capture Jackson's 1992 Dangerous tour. Jackson melts back to explain his career and approach, showing a perfectionist edge. It is the work of playwright Lynn Nottage, and director and choreographer Christopher Wheeldon. The musical has been approved by the Michael Jackson estate. Of course, everyone knows Michael Jackson died in 2009. Broadway critics were divided over the musical, with many frustrated that it sidestepped accusations of molestation, which later dogged Jackson, but virtually all agreed that the songs and dancing were top-notch, as was the leading man, Miles Frost. So there you go. I did not know that that was a thing, and that I don't live in New York, but I guess I'll go to the Nederlander, formerly the Oriental Theater, because that sounded racist. They had to get rid of that name when it opens soon. I told you about a show that everybody is really liking, and it is a great show. It's called Abbott Elementary, and it stars Quinta Brunson. Quinta Brunson is hilarious, and it's her show, and she is the best ever. She says her mom was her kindergarten teacher, and they went to school each day in the same building for 6 years. Brunson vividly remembered specific teaching-related stories that her mother shared, inspiring her to weave some of them into the new ABC hit sitcom Abbott Elementary, which she created and also stars in. One of her stories I used in the pilot, actually, of another teacher punching a kid, Brunson told today in a conference room at 30 Rock. She has so many tidbits here and there that I kind of pulled from. It's just stuck in my brain, everything that she's told me over the years and everything I've witnessed, because I was with her so much at school. The Abbott Elementary character, Barbara Howard, played by Cheryl Lee Ralph, the seasoned teacher often offering wisdom to the rookies, is molded after her mother. Brunson said her mom and the character both have a knack for getting through to misbehaving children. You seen Abbott Elementary yet, Gliss?
I have not.
Take a look. I'm not joking. It's funny. It's very, very funny. And it's well written. It's kind of like a mockumentary. It's like The Office.
I like that.
Yeah, it's quick. It's very quick and very spirited, and it hits all the notes. I taught for a little while as a teaching artist. I was not an everyday teacher, but I understand what everyday teachers go through, having been a student, of course, and just a lot. There's a lot there. Here's something that's bothering me, and I'm a bit confused. So Kanye West has been barred from performing at the Grammys due to concerning online behavior. A report says the decision was made partially because of concerns over possible interactions between West and Grammy host Trevor Noah. As I said last week, me and Mario said last week, on Friday, as a matter of fact, Trevor Noah's not afraid of Kanye West. He's just not. Trevor Noah he lived in South Africa. He's already seen it up close. I'm pretty sure he's not a hood gentleman, but I'm pretty sure he can get very Soweto on Kanye, and it would be wise for him. Don't do that. Leave him alone. But I think what happened, well, I'll read this to you, and then I'll tell you why I think they really barred him. I think they're afraid that he's going to do what he did online this weekend. Kanye West has been barred from performing at the Grammy Awards due to his, quote, concerning online behavior, close quote, a rep for the artist confirmed to Variety. Reps for the Recording Academy and CBS, which present the Grammys, did not immediately respond to Variety's request for comment on the claim early Saturday. West's rep cited a report in The Blast posted late Friday, claiming that the artist's team received a phone call Friday night informing him he had been, quote, unfortunately, close quote, removed from the lineup of performers for the show due to his, quote, concerning online behavior, close quote. While West who was up for 5 2022 Grammys, was not among the first list of performers announced on Tuesday. He may have been a planned performer. A rep for West sent Variety a link to that story saying only, quote, this is confirmed, close quote. The rep did not respond to requests for further information, although the Blast report states, our sources say Kanye's team isn't surprised by the decision. Nor should they be. But here's why I think they're doing this. Because there's this whole thing between him and Trevor Noah, him and Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson's probably going to be there. Kim Kardashian's probably going to be there. Trevor Noah's hosting the show and all that. Kanye was on IG this weekend, and I don't know if anybody saw it, but if you did, you'll know what I'm getting ready to tell you is true. This announcement came out right after that happened, like minutes after that posted. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think people are so driven by whatever this is Kanye is doing, and however it is that he does it, that the act of him praying for his children's safety online has people concerned about his mental health. I've never heard of such a thing, that praying would spook people into thinking something might be wrong with homeboy. He should be at the Grammys. If Trevor Noah can't defend this, if they don't have enough security to protect these people from themselves, then they shouldn't have a live show. They should hand these awards out on Zoom. Let Kanye perform. I think, my opinion only, that that's really stupid and not well thought out at all. And that's the entertainment report for today. See how I tried to end the commentary list with a little punch, there at the end?
I like it. Yeah.
Yes. Subtle. When we come back, we will have Sportsy Sports. Accurate Buzzard. Janine. Hi, Janine. Spooky Penguin. First. Julian. Short Ox. Michelle. Mike. Outgoing Hamster are all here on the drive with us today. When we come back, we'll have sports. It'll be time for the Dylan T. Pickle Sports Report, #1 sports show in the land. And we'll be doing that in a bit. It's the Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and your Amazon supported devices. We will be right back. Welcome back to the drive, everybody. I have an update for you that the fire department sirens that you heard a little while ago, across the street from where we're broadcasting from. I make it sound like we're broadcasting from some lavish studio, but we're broadcasting from my apartment. Across the street from where we're broadcasting from, someone set a bunch on fire. And I may have to close my door because it's starting to smell weird in the neighborhood. What else is new? Somebody said the dumpsters. I just had a friend of mine text me like, "Are you out here lighting dumpster fires?" No, I'm not. I know a bunch of dumpster fires, but I'm not lighting any of them. Speaking of a dumpster fire, Segway City today. This Deshaun Watson trade has people in Cleveland upset. People are very, very angry.
And we called that too. We talked about that when the trade happened last week because, they had done a poll, I believe, in the local paper there, and the fan base was pretty split on the idea. And as we talked about too, just if you're a woman who happens to be a Browns fan, I don't blame you if you feel a certain way about that.
Right. You would.
I mean, I do. I think I told you he had mentioned having interest in playing in San Francisco. And for me personally, as a fan, I'm like, no, I'm good.
I'm good.
Very, very talented, but I don't want that baggage. I don't
No.
want that's someone that's doing all that weird stuff.
When I wanted him to play for us, he wasn't out here doing 23 different sexual assaults that we know of.
Right.
So here's a statement from the team. We are acutely aware and empathetic to the highly personal sentiments expressed about this decision. One of the owners said, which one was it? Was it Jimmy Haslam? D and Jimmy Haslam. No, it was a joint statement. Now, here's where I'm like, you should shut up. It says, our team's comprehensive evaluation process was of the utmost importance due to the sensitive nature of his situation and the complex factors involved. 24 women have stated that he did something to them. He won't go to jail for it, but there are 23 civil lawsuits. What comprehensive evaluation process did the Cleveland Browns do? They drafted Baker Mayfield. You think they did a comprehensive analysis of a legal matter? Stop. You are kidding yourself. He should, right for now, until that gets resolved, he shouldn't be playing in the league at all. There's no place for him in the league. No place. No place. If I am a fan of the Browns, I'm screaming, especially if I'm a season ticket holder, I'm good. I'll sell my tickets. I don't want to see your product.
Right.
I'm not going to any of those games as long as he's there. He's going to be there for a long time. Got 200. How much was it? Did he get 200 and what million?
30, I think. 200.
Something like that.
Somewhere around there.
230 million over 5 years. Amazing. And this dude is out here like posing with Browns jerseys on, and everything's cool with him. He don't care. That is wild. And now the fans in Cleveland are like, we don't want him. And the owner's like, well, I know. Let me translate. So, thank you. That's my new feature. It's called Translating for Bosses. They're like, so you don't like it? Too bad. Don't watch. Because you're going to watch anyway, because it's the NFL. And that's what people do. They can hit a woman in the elevator. They can body slam a woman on a bunch of guns. They break into bathroom stalls and rape women, and you'll still watch. Man kneels, everybody stops watching. I'm just locate the lie. A Dominican drug trafficker who was jealous of David Ortiz and felt disrespected by him had him shot at a Dominican nightclub in 2019, according to private news. The Red Sox slugger hired to look into the attack that nearly killed him. Findings by former Boston Police Commissioner Edward Davis, reported by the Boston Globe on Saturday, contradict the theory of the crime developed by Dominican prosecutors. Davis told the newspaper that he identified the drug trafficker Cesar Peralta as having orchestrated the shooting by placing a bounty on Ortiz and sanctioning the hit squad that tried to kill him. Dominican authorities did not cooperate with the private investigation. Peralta is being held. Oh, see, okay, Gliss. I'm going to read this line exactly how it's written. I didn't say it this way. This is why I should be proofreading all written work on earth. Peralta is being held without bail in Puerto Rico. The U.S. Treasury designated Peralta a drug kingpin in 2019, and he was extradited to the U.S. territory in December. Ortiz's spokesperson, Joe Berlin, told the Globe that Davis's findings were withheld for Ortiz's safety until Peralta was in U.S. custody. Peralta has not been charged in relation to Ortiz's shooting. Peralta's lawyer, Joaquin Perez, said Peralta had nothing to do with the attempt on Ortiz's life. As bad as Cesar Peralta is, it's not even close to being in the ballpark to say he had something to do with this, Perez said. Perez described Ortiz and Peralta as close friends. The Globe knew, Ortiz told the Globe he knew Peralta only casually and that he was sad, confused, angry, all kinds of emotions when he received the news from Davis and Rick Prado, a former high-ranking CIA official who participated in the inquiry. Boy, it must be nice to have some money. He got a former police commissioner and a CIA man to do detective work for him. Big Papi. Dominican authorities have said the target was meant to be Sixto David Fernandez, who was sharing a table with Ortiz when he was shot. Authorities said the hitman confused Fernandez with Ortiz, one of the most popular Dominican ball players ever. 13 people have been charged in relation to Ortiz's shooting and are awaiting trial in the Dominican Republic. That's crazy. Ortiz told the Globe he wants to know why anyone might want him dead. But the most important thing is, thank God I'm alive. Remember when that happened, man? When he it was like someone shot David Ortiz. That didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, no, that was
Crazy.
kind of bizarre, shocking news.
To say the least. That was horrible. And he almost died. He was almost out of here. Like out of here. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Speaking of things that I don't like that I had to watch this weekend, Coach K, Duke won. How's your watching of this tournament going before we talk about old Coach Angry?
You know, I had the first and second round on quite a bit, you know, in the background, just kind of casually watching.
That Duke Michigan State game, that was a good basketball game. Finally.
Yeah.
Because Illinois had the throwbacks on. I knew that was going to go down in flames. Loyola lost just to play basketball well. All the Illinois stuff is back. I was so happy. I don't University of Michigan fan, but Juwan Howard I am a fan of. And I am just watching them just get that win. And then watching Wisconsin lose. I really wanted Wisconsin to win just so somehow they can meet one more time, maybe. Because Wisconsin is a bunch of angry people. They are a very physical team. For them not to be very big, they're very physical. And they tried to push Iowa State around yesterday a lot. It didn't work. They got outplayed. And I'm happy, so happy that Michigan won. And then at the end of the game, because I can't even remember who they played, and he was hugging the kid and like telling him, man, you're a good player and all that. And that kid was hurt. He was hurting. And Juwan Howard was being a man. No one wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about him slapping the pretzels out my man's mouth when he put his hands on him when he shouldn't have done that. I mean, you can't go around open hand slapping people in the world, but you know, you got to know where a man has been in order to know where he's going. Duke beat stupid Michigan State, who I'm glad he's gone to. Izzo. That's just a group of old men now, and I'm not ageist, but they are so mean. Like Izzo likes to grab his players and yell at them, but you can't yell in my son's face, sir. Coach him well, make him a man, help him to become a man. Don't put your hands on my. That's been me forever. I mean, you can get loud with him, but don't yell at him and don't put your hands on my son. No, I'm just thinking about it. No, hell no. But anyway, so Mike Krzyzewski won, and that really should be the whole story. But they advanced to the Sweet 16. They played good basketball that night. That what did they call him? The elevator operator or the elevator Williams is his name. That kid is nice, big man, and he was just intense. Just a really, really good gameplay by him. Trying to see what his numbers were, and I can't find him. Mark Williams is his name, and I think Bill Rafferty called him the elevator operator. I like that name. I think that's a good. That's a good. You make some money with that name, Mark Williams. But he did really well. Had a great game, and he had 4 15-point scores. Krzyzewski did in that game. And that was also the 1200th win of his career. That's pretty cool, I guess. So he said the 1200 wins is substantial. Obviously, it's a lot of wins, but it's a lot of wins against quality competition, and that's why I'm most proud of. It's not just the number of wins, it's the competition we've had in order to win. Notice how he said the same thing like 8 times? Whatever. So Duke advances. The Sweet 16. How does this look? Who we got? We've got Baylor, Kentucky, and Auburn are out. Michigan, North Carolina, Miami, and St. Peter's are in. And you still looking at Gonzaga, Gliss, to take it?
No, I didn't do a bracket, but I'd probably roll with Gonzaga just because I mean they still haven't won the damn thing, and it's like they're there every year. You know, they've built this powerhouse program out of this little tiny no-name school, going back to what, like the early 2000s was when they first made those, you know, first couple Sweet 16s, and you know, kind of became an upset team. So I just like they've built such a great program, and since you know they haven't won it and they're from the Northwest, I'm kind of just rolling with them at this point. But who knows?
Man, I don't think they're going to win anything. I think they're done. Like I thought Baylor was done. I think the next game is their last game because they've been struggling. They had to come back from behind in the second game. They struggled. The story of the tournament, of course, is St. Peter's, the Peacocks from Jersey. They beat Kentucky bad, and they beat Murray State by 10. Beat them pretty bad too.
I'm a Pac-12 guy as well, so you know, like UCLA, Arizona, those are two teams I'm interested in.
I picked UCLA in my bracket to win.
Yeah.
They play St. Peter's plays Purdue. Purdue has a 7-footer who is not and does not have time for any foolishness. So there's that. Iowa State. They play Miami. I like the Hurricanes in that game. I like Purdue in that game against St. Peter's, but I will not be surprised if they beat St. Peter's. Not at all. Although the 7-footer is a problem. Arkansas goes up against against Gonzaga. There's a good game. Arkansas 17-3 in their last 20 games. I like the Razorbacks in that.
Good one.
That should be a real good one.
I'm also interested in, like I've been interested in watching a lot of the players because I'm thinking, the Blazers may end up with 2 lottery picks.
That's right.
So I'm kind of interested in watching, some of these guys that are going to be coming out after the season. Just seeing which players stand out as well.
UCLA, who I think is going to win the whole thing, plays North Carolina on Friday night. That should be interesting. Michigan plays Villanova. I'm good. Villanova is a really good basketball team. We're not surprised if they went deeper into the tournament, but I think the Wolverines are riding on that energy from that win the other night. And the fact that Wisconsin's out of it, everybody else in the Big Ten is out of it. I think you can look at them and be like, okay, maybe Michigan does win this game. Providence, amazing to me. Providence is still in it. They're playing against Kansas. I like Kansas. I shouldn't, but I like Kansas. Texas State plays Duke. Oh, God, let Texas Tech win. Please. Just to end it at 1,200. That's a nice even number for him. Nobody will ever beat it. Ever. Arizona goes up against Houston. Interesting. The Houston Cougars, that's a nice little basketball team, too. I think they don't have a really good coach, but they have very good players on their team. It reminds me of the old days when Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler and Larry Michau and all those dudes used to play. Oh, I was a young man then, Gliss. I was out here just wild and being young, doing young people stuff. And I like Gonzaga to lose in their next game, and they are playing. Who is this here? Arkansas. I think Arkansas is going to beat Gonzaga. I think the dream is over. Peace, Gonzaga. Thank you for everything. And here's a story that caught my eye, and not because it was necessarily the Trailblazers, but I thought my man was hurt. Apparently, Nurkic threw a phone at somebody.
Well, he has plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, his hands still work.
He's part of the tank job. Is the real injury.
The tank job.
So yeah, I would not want that man coming up to me in my face. I can tell you that. He's a big dude. I've been in the Blazers locker room before, and that dude is not someone you would want to mess with.
That's a gigantic man. I don't want no parts of that. Okay. They don't know why he was so upset. But Sunday afternoon, yesterday, lovely day in Portland, or wherever they were. Were they there or were they here?
No, I think they were I think I want to say it was like Minnesota or somewhere like that.
No, they were playing the Pacers, so they were in Indiana, and I can understand why he
Indiana,
was
that's
angry just for making the trip. He was probably upset. The Pacers already eliminated for playoff competition, and the Blazers tanking to try to get there themselves. There wasn't much to discuss from this one. That is until a video surfaced of a post-game incident involving Trailblazers big man Yusuf Nurkic, currently sidelined due to plantar fasciitis, and a Pacers fan. Following the final buzzer, Nurkic made his way over to a group of fans sitting courtside. He stared one of them down, grabbed the fan's phone, and tossed it away. Then he walked away. It's not clear what the fan said or did to upset Nurkic, and because the big man is out injured, he did not address the media. Whatever it was must have crossed the line, however, because it's hard to imagine a player snatching a fan's phone over a basic insult or taunt. In any case, this is the latest high-profile incident involving fans and players this season. A fan was ejected for slapping Rajon Rondo's hand away from his face during a game between the Lakers and the Suns. LeBron James had 2 fans ejected for vulgar comments in a matchup with the Pacers. I'm telling you, Indiana's terrible. A fan in Philly was ejected and banned from Wells Fargo Arena for life for calling Carmelo Anthony boy. I didn't know about that. Furthermore, Russell Westbrook has spoken in recent weeks about how constant trash talk and name calling by fans, both in the arena and on social media, has affected his family. Now, glad he didn't say it was affecting his game. You can't do that, though. But yeah, Nurkic is a big man. You sure you want to upset a dude that big?
And I am really curious. I was gonna, look and see if there's been any more reporting on that. I know Jason Quick of The Athletic covers the team here, and I'd be curious to know if he found out any more information, because Nurkic is known to be a very goofy guy, very charismatic.
Nice
guy, likes to joke around a lot. By all accounts, he's just a fun guy to be around. So I'm curious what he was so pissed off about, and I have it here if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Give me your phone. I will throw your phone.
Whoops.
Leave me alone. Don't ever take pictures with phone again. He just grabbed it. Let's do it. Can I see that phone? Can I see that?
What's interesting about that is it looks like the bench was on the opposite side, and so I'm curious what it is that could it how did this come about, because he wasn't playing in the game, and you saw there he's in street clothes.
Right.
So what did he hear, or what did someone else on the team tell him that made him walk over there after the game and do that? Because that's the weird part to me. It's not like it would make more sense if it was someone that was on the court and he heard something. We've seen that before. Guys getting into it with a particular fan, or getting them ejected or something like that because of something they said. But for him to be on the opposite side of the court in street clothes and want to come over there and confront the guy after the game is what makes it interesting to me.
Hey, hold on a moment. I'll be right back. Hey, buddy, let me see your phone. I will throw your phone all the way to Oregon. Watch this. Throw it. Toss this phone.
And you can see the kid. The kid goes, "Why did you throw my phone?"
Why did you throw my phone? What are you doing, dude? Oh, it's awesome. Now your phone won't work and no more the picture. Or maybe he was mad because the fan was watching on the phone during the game.
Yeah, it could have been.
Well, it would have been my phone. I'd have an iPhone 50 because he'd be buying me a new phone. Dude, you can't come and walk up to me and then throw my phone. I don't care who you are. Although you are bigger than me. Yeah, I'm from Chicago. We're gonna have to talk about that. Give me telephone. He throws the kid's phone.
No, he didn't ask either. He just pulled it out of his hands.
Give me this stupid phone.
All while he's staring him down.
Staring him down the whole time. Like, come here, I want to talk to you. I have something to tell you important. Give me the phone. Tonight in the association, the Pelicans play the Hornets, the Lakers play the Cavaliers, and the aforementioned Trailblazers play the Pistons in Detroit. Those games are at 7 p.m. 7:30 games, the Jazz against the Nets, and the Heat play the Sixers, who I predicted it, and it's happening, are falling apart. Falling apart. Lost last night to Toronto. 8 p.m. The Raptors against the Bulls. Big game tonight for the Chicago Bulls. The Wizards against the Rockets and the Celtics play the Thunder. And at 8:30, the Timberwolves go up against the Mavericks. In the NHL tonight, one game, 7 p.m. all times Eastern, by the way. Bruins against the Capitals. And that's a look at sports. We come back, we'll bring you a story. Oh, can we show the video real quick? Of you got it ready?
Of which?
Of the young lady.
Oh, yeah. Give me like a few minutes.
Want to do it after we do the front of mine?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, cool. When we come back, we'll have a story that you can take with you wherever you go on your travels this evening. Something really cool to talk about, and we'll take a look at some very special dates and whatnot. And I'm going to close this door because it smells like a dumpster, kind of, from outside, not in here originally. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And we'll be right back after these words. So remember a week or two ago when the war was just getting going between Russia and the Ukraine? There was a little girl that was singing in a bomb shelter or somewhere like that. And as you would imagine, because this thing is updating with all the with what's going there. I am trying to find a story list. This is my fault. Here we go. The girl who sang "Let It Go" in a bomb shelter performed on stage at a benefit in Poland. Amelia, the girl whose interpretation of the "Let It Go" from the movie Frozen in a bunker in Kiev went viral. Sang the Ukrainian national anthem Sunday evening during a charity concert held in Lodz, Poland. The money raised from tickets will support Polish humanitarian action, one of Poland's oldest and most experienced charity foundations, which is supporting victims of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The concert was co-produced and broadcast by TVN Discovery Poland. Almost 3.5 million people have fled Ukraine since Russia attacked the country more than 3 weeks ago, according to the United Nations Refugee Agency. Most have escaped to neighboring Poland, Romania, or Moldova. But as the war continues, many more are moving farther west. That little girl can sing. It's pretty cool. She got a chance to get on stage. Good for her. That's our front of mind for today. We got time left. I just stepped outside. It is so nice. I'm hopping on the bike. I'm going to get out of here. Not yet. I'm not leaving yet. But yeah, I'm hopping on the bike tonight. On this date in 1994, Schindler's List won the Oscar for Best Picture. Tom Hanks won Best Actor for Philadelphia. Holly Hunter won Best Actress. And Steven Spielberg is named Best Director for Schindler's List. In 2001, the Space Shuttle Discovery touches down, bringing home the first residents of the International Space Station. Born on this day, one of the greatest producers ever, DJ Premier's birthday is today. My man. Football player and part-time child beater who should be stopped and shouldn't be in the NFL anymore, Adrian Peterson. I'm sorry. His birthday is today. On this, yeah, sad dude, man. Too much. In music history, on this date in 1981, Too Much Time on My Hands by Styx and Take It on the Run by REO Speedwagon both entered the U.S. Top 40 chart. You know what grade I was in, the English?
What grade?
I was in 8th grade when those songs came out.
That was a while ago.
Oh boy, who you telling? In 1989, Madonna's album "Like a Prayer" is released. Here's some fun facts. Did you know, on average, we spend about $109 on a wedding gift? I don't. My wedding gift is a gift card to something like a spa thing or something.
Mine's like a fist bump or something.
Or a hearty head nod. Like, you did it. Oh, you did it, dude. You said you're gonna do it, and you did it. All right, where's the food? I'm about to go eat. If you adopt a kitten, it will cost you roughly $4,300 during its lifetime. Parents usually spend about $1,530 on food and drinks for kids during the summer. Oh, I believe it's more than that.
I believe it's more than that too. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
I know how much it is
like,
with one
no
child.
way.
Yeah, I know how much it is with
have
one.
4 boys, I guess.
No, if they did the averages on one kid, it's probably like $3,000. On 4, it's got to be close to $1 million.
Yeah.
Your kids owe you. You should remind them that every day. Like, when you guys get older, you can go hit my Cash App, kids. Is that what the kids say? Hit my Cash App. Of all the fast food joints, Subway has the most worldwide locations. I dare not say anything about anybody's sponsorship in the future. Subway, we may be eating fresh in years to come, Glitz. We got to be careful. A survey says that the average American is willing to drive up to 36 miles out of the way for a good meal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
39% of us have trouble falling asleep on a Sunday night. 4 out of 10 employees worry most about someone looking at their internet browsing history. Ooh, yeah, that would be a thing. That's why you have to find all the private settings. I don't know anything about that. Oh, yes, I do. Houses next to a cemetery take longer to sell, but bring in up to 10% more money than comparable properties when they do sell. I would not live next to. Are you kidding me?
No, yeah, I don't think so.
For the 5th year in a row, Finland has been named the world's happiest country for the 5th year in a row, according to an annual report, with fellow Nordic countries also continuing to rank highly. The United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network 10th World Happiness Report, published on Friday, found that Finland's score was significantly ahead of other countries in the top 10. Here are the world's top happiest countries. Okay. Pardon.
We're not on there very high.
We're the U.S. is number 16.
We're ways down there.
Yeah, I'm surprised the U.S. made it to 16. Okay, so it's 30 of them. Uruguay, Spain. This is from 30. 30 is Uruguay. Spain is number 29. Romania, 28. Singapore, 27. God, Spain is angry. Taiwan is 26. Saudi Arabia is 25. United Arab Emirates is 24. I just had a friend come from the UAE rather. He said he had a ball. So somebody's having fun. Number 23 is Costa Rica. Number 2 is Slovenia. 21 is Bahrain. Number 20 is France. I know for a fact that a lot of people from France just don't like people that aren't from France. So I don't know if that number should be right. That's probably too low. Number 19 is Belgium. A surprise. Czechia is number 18. The United Kingdom is number 17, followed closely by the United States. And number 16. Canada? The friendliest people in the world live in Canada. What are they talking about? Number 15. Germany is number 14. Ireland is number 13. Australia is number 12. Austria is number 11. In the top 10, New Zealand, Israel, Norway, Sweden, Luxembourg at number 6. Number 5 is the Netherlands. Well, we know why they're happy. Come on. Number 4 is Number 4 is Switzerland, chocolate. Number 3 is Iceland. Number 2 is Denmark. We really know why they're happy. And number 1 is Finland. I'd move some of those around.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It seems.
I agree. Spain seems really low.
Spain is España. Beautiful people. Yeah. Colorado's going to pay you to abandon your lawn. Did you hear about this? I think we may have even talked about this. Like many states in the West, Colorado's been facing near drought conditions over the past several years. That situation has prompted the state legislature to conduct studies of their water management plans and come up with some potential solutions. Roughly half of all the fresh water used in the state winds up going to landscaping and lawn care needs. To reduce that strain on the system, Colorado is preparing to ask homeowners and businesses to do away with their lawns and replace them with native plants that are more suited to the state's dry environment. But rather than forcing people to do it, they will offer to pay them as an incentive to cooperate voluntarily. Okay. A NASA administrator said after tests confirmed that the James Webb Space Telescope is performing even better than predicted, engineers say the fine phasing process of the $10 billion space telescope, which involved aligning 18 yeah, the headache is setting in. Hexagonal. This is in the blooper reel, isn't it?
Just
This is in the blooper reel. Mirror segments to within nanometers to form one single. I'm going to get that word. Hexagonal.
that sounds right.
Our blooper reel is going to be all me just not talking right. To form one single 21-foot primary mirror is now complete, and the performance is as good or better than the most optimistic predictions. The $10 billion space telescope reached its final orbit a million miles from Earth in January. The images are focused together as finely as the laws of physics allow. NASA officials say that after more alignment steps and preparation of scientific instruments, the telescope will be fully operational this summer and ready for a very demanding year of science operations. But that should be fun. Go for it, gang. Do it all. Yeah. So there's that. And I haven't checked on these people in a while. Favor is here. Willing Ferret. Lee. Elizabeth Matt. Wealthy Crab. Linda Sharp Carp. Celestial Aphid. Harmonious Oyster. Carolyn. Limitless Gorilla. Nicole, Linda, Roasted Quagga, Accurate Buzzard, Jennifer, Spooky Penguin, Morning Gopher from Kentucky. Everyone's here. So thank you, everyone. Oh, there's more? Moving Gopher. I'm sorry, not Morning. It's Moving Gopher's first time here on Backchannel. What's up, Moving Gopher? Gliss, we're going to show that video and let that be our end tonight?
Yeah.
Cool. Let me say goodbye to these people who are here just doing great things in our chat. Thank you all so much. Hey, Gliss, thank you, by the way, for a great show and putting up with me with a massive headache. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. All right, as we get ready to step out tonight here on Backchannel.tv, first of all, thank you to everyone who's a passenger on the drive today. We truly appreciate that. Thank you to everybody that checks out Backchannel. You can join us again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Eastern with Haley and Allison live from the UK for an amazing show, a good time had by all. Have a wonderful evening. Please join us again early in the morning for more of Backchannel.tv as the sun begins its descent here in Chicago, Illinois. My name is Mario Smith. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon. And we leave you with a public service announcement. Have a great weekend. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. Let me tell you again. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. Don't be a dumbass.